Hey, good morning. Monday morning, Flip Anything USA. Uh, didn't get much out here this last week. Been pretty swamped with different things going on. I'm getting my laptop dialed in here for a second. So, wanted to talk about, just staying on track and to make money, make that list. I remind myself when I make a blog like this. I've been making lists since I was, probably 19. That's when I was self-employed. I started my own company, and I'd get up in the morning, and I'd get up ultra early. I mean, I'd get up by 5 a.m. and I'd be writing that list, and always at the top of my list was number one, make money, and usually number two, if it wasn't specifically figure out how to make more money, it was certainly something synonymous to making more. It would be working on a job or doing something else. You know, uh, Even it's kind of neat. You see or you get, like I say, the money you make with your job or whatever. It's important you save as much of it as you can, or even if I know things can be tough, and sometimes you're just getting by, and sometimes you're falling in debt a little bit. I know, I've been there, but the goal always is make money, put a little aside, and get that seed capital. But uh, it doesn't hurt to be repetitive and to talk about things like I'm reminding you, but I'm reminding myself too. Make that list. I can tell you, I've told you guys before. I used to keep a thing called the day timers. I kept it for 10 years. This is before cell phones, or before good cell phones, that took notes and everything. But man, I had 10 years worth of a day timer, and I still have them, and I can flip through those, and I was constantly making goals, constantly setting goals. Buy this place, buy that place, buy a new. I had a cabinet shop at that time, so I was always trying to buy the best tools I could buy to make more money with those tools. And let me tell you, cars were not important to me. Uh, Trucks were what I always wanted, because trucks are what I could make money with. And the trucks I had were some pretty ugly trucks, but they ran good. Uh, in fact, I'll tell you a funny story. I had an International Harvester truck. Oh my God, it must have been like a '72. It was like a pea soup green. It was the ugliest truck I ever seen. And it's funny because I put it up for sale after I had it. It was really ugly, but it worked. It took care of what I needed, and I put it up for sale for, I don't know, 400 bucks or something. And I was gone, but I told my guys, look, anybody comes up here, 400 bucks, they can have it. And some gal came in, and she was trying to help her husband or boyfriend get going with his business. And she said, it runs good, right? And it did. It ran really good. It was just ugly as sin. And so she bought that truck, and she paid one of the guys that worked for me. I was gone. And that guy came back with that truck. He said he wanted to know if he could get his money back or get the money back. But my guy talked to him and said, man, we know it's ugly, but you know what? Your wife did a heck of a good thing coming in here buying this truck for you. And it is a super good running truck. And so my guy talked him into keeping it, and but it was a good truck. But oh man, we'll talk about an ugly truck. You don't even hardly, I don't even see them on the road. They're so ugly. If you ever look up an International Harvester, about a '72, I mean, it is just the dumbest looking thing you'd ever seen. but but back on the list and things, it's like right now, I'm trying to. I actually found another house. I'm pretty sure I'm going to make a deal on it. And of course, it's near some of the other houses that I just bought. And again, it's taken time reaching out. I saw all the indications of somebody's moving. I saw stuff getting pushed to the curb, for people to come pick up and take for free. That's a sign of people bailing out, right? Moving. And sure enough, I went over there and said, hey, what's the story of the stuff on the curb? Actually, I took a lawnmower, and because I needed it at the house across the street anyway. So, but it gave me also a reason to strike up a conversation and talk. And that's the other thing, some of you that might be not so, comfortable knocking on somebody's door and saying hello. And I know it's tough when you're shy, or if you, I've been there, but I mean, I'm not anymore for sure. But you know, so it's, if you see stuff at the curb, you know, it's an excuse to say, hey, what's up? You know, hey, you know, is the house coming available or whatever you got to say. Anyways, that's what I said yesterday. I said, hey, I see the stuff in the curb, seen the moving truck stuff. Are you guys moving away? And she said, yeah. She said we are. And she says, I assume a gay couple. She told me talked to her partner that they were moving to Arkansas, and so said her partner's name was Becca. So I'm assuming I'm looking for a woman when I get back over there next time I see another car in the driveway. But she said, yeah, we are. We're going to move, and if you're interested, you know, you talk to her. And I said, man, I'm really interested. I want to buy it. I said, I only want to cross the street. And, you know, I told her that actually some of the homes I bought, you know, before, some of the earlier homes that I bought are actually become too valuable. See, a certain amount of homes I'm kind of holding for my kids to buy from me. I will make them pay for them. I won't just give them away. But the ones that I bought originally for my kids, they're too damn valuable now. They're so valuable that, I mean, they're almost a pain in the ass for me to hold because the taxes are so high compared to the rents that they bring in. And when I compare the rents that they bring in on these houses, they pale in comparison to what I'd get if I bought some commercial or industrial or office space. And so it's kind of a challenge. Sometimes I wonder why I'm even hanging on to the stuff. But it is a pretty good appreciative time right now, which also I want to say, listen, this economy is good right now and getting better. And maybe some of you aren't feeling it, but I can tell you, this economy is getting better. I mean, confidence is up. I see it in my other companies that I own. You know, we're starting to see sales and things that require confidence in the market, and we see it. So it's happening, and hopefully it's going to trickle all down to all of us with more money, right? For our companies and for our companies' employees and all that sort of thing. So I'm optimistic about the future. I really, really feel good, and I expect we'd be in a crash by now, to be honest. I think if Trump hadn't won, we'd really be down the tubes, because finally we see trade, you know, is trying to, we see a little more fairness coming into play here, and less EPA regulations, and all that stuff takes a toll on a lot of companies, and a lot of people don't realize how bad that is, but it's really bad. So, anyways, I just want to remind everybody, you know, man, get your list, keep that list, write that list. I can tell you, you know, I look at one of my old lists that I talked about, not just the things that I was doing, but, you know, it was like things I wanted to get. I said, get a Porsche, you know, get a Porsche. Get a, you know, a new home, big home, you know, to work out of. And I forgot that I ever even wrote that stuff down. But when I came back and looked at it later, I'd look at it and I'm going, wow, this is really kind of a surreal moment, because not only had I'd already bought, actually I had a huge 5-bedroom, beautiful home. I'll show it to you sometime. Just amazing big home. It's probably, I mean, at the time, 3,200 square feet, which is still a big home to me. I don't need a 5,000 square foot home. I've seen some really big ones, but had a giant kidney-shaped pool, jacuzzi, had a stairwell that went up to the deck outside in the back, and an enormous patio, enormous lot. Had, I think, like 70 cypress trees that went around the perimeter of it, gave me privacy all the way around. I mean, it just looked like a little mansion, and it really was. It really was. And it was pretty cool to be 28 years old, or 25, 28, whatever I was, when I bought that, and it was fun. It was a lot of fun. But the point I was going to get at is, when I'm looking at this list, I'm going here. Wow, well, I've already got the dream home that I had written down to buy. I'd already bought and sold a Porsche. I was going to say Carrera, but I think it was a Targa. I think it was called a Targa. It was it was a 911, but I think maybe it was a Targa or a Carrera. I can't remember. The top popped off, and it was kind of a pretty cool little car. Really, really fast. Porsches are pretty fun. And but I'd already bought that and sold it. And you know, I tell you, when it comes to vehicles, you really, in the beginning, you really want to be practical. Like I said, I was a big fan of trucks. I still am. I mean, I drive a Toyota Tundra more than I drive anything. And one of the reasons is, I come upon my property, I see something there I don't like, I can throw it in the back of my truck and haul it over to one of my dumpsters at one of my other properties that I own nearby. But I just want to tell you, really concentrate on buying things that bring a return. Concentrate on buying things that can turn into more money. You know, buy something you can sell for more. Buy a tool that if you're actively can use it to make money, use it to make money. You know, when I started my cabinet shop, all the time that I worked for my boss, I was buying tools so that I could have my own cabinet shop someday. And so he went out of business unexpectedly early. But I remember I'd open up my closet and it'd be like brand new tools in boxes from the bottom of that closet all the way to the top. It just completely filled my closet. There were no clothes in that closet. It was all tools, brand new in the box. And it actually made me proud, made me feel like I had something. I felt like, hey, you know, this was like a nest egg to me, and it was, because when my boss went out of business, you know, I moved into a duplex with a buddy of mine. We split up a 2-bedroom home basically, but it had a garage in the back, and that was my first cabinet shop. Was I worked out of the back of a duplex, out of a garage, but I had all the tools. I already had everything. So my boss went out of business. All I did was take everything out of the box, built some benches, started making flyers, knocking on doors. You know, that's the other thing. You got to be aggressive. You got to be, you know, persistent. And that's what I did. And I'll never forget. I probably told the story before, but I made a flyer. I didn't have $35 in the bank. I mean, I was really broke. And I remember, because I was like a pain in the butt to get the postage. And I don't know. I mailed out maybe only 50 letters. These flyers that I made. I mailed them though specifically to builders. And it was a Friday, and I mailed that thing. And I was thinking, okay, good. Hopefully they'll get this by Monday. Saturday morning, the mail got delivered that Saturday morning, because it was within the same town. And a guy called me up, and he says, hey, I got your flyer here. And I'm thinking, wow, how'd he get that? But he got it in the mail. And he said, it was Jeff Davis Custom Homes. Good guy. Hope he's still alive. Been a long time. But he called me up, and he says, man, I need this, and this done. And, you know, I had long hair and bloodshot eyes because of allergies, but I looked like I was high, even though I wasn't. But it would come through. I was a smart guy, so nobody thought I was high when I was talking. But he said, okay, I want to get it made as quick as possible. And I said, okay, I just need a deposit. He gave me a check for, I don't know, $500 or something like that. But it was like, oh, good. You know, I went from $35 in the bank to $535, all because of that flyer. And it all happened within 24 hours. And man, you bet I was down at the lumber yard. I bought the lumber and I ripped out, and I probably had that cabinet job done by Monday, because I certainly, you know, Sundays were not a day of rest for me. To me, it was just another day I could work. And, you know, so that's what it was. And I just strongly urge you to work. And believe me, they tell you do it while you're young. It's true. Because when you're young, you got energy, and you got nothing else going. Your friends are all working. You know, I was making money pretty big at a pretty early age. Like I said, I bought a beach house when I was 28. And it was one of the loneliest times of my life, because I go down to the beach. None of my friends could afford to take off and go down to the beach. None of them could. They all had to work. And the same with the girls I was pursuing. They all had jobs. And I couldn't really say, hey, quit your job, come down to the beach. It was a 2-hour drive at that time. And I go down to my beautiful beach home. And I mean, it was just, you know, it was like the beach homes were second homes to the stars. Pat Sajak had a beach, probably still does, had a home near mine. And several other soap stars, a lot of soap stars. There's a big soap opera going on back then called Santa Barbara, and this was near Santa Barbara. This was Ventura, Channel Islands, actually, Channel Islands, Oxnard area. And anyways, great place, beautiful sand, deep sand beach. But I go out on that sand and I look, and as far as I could see, I saw nobody. And then I look the other way, and I see an old lady walking a poodle. And it just was not the ideal setting. You know, it was fun on the weekends. That was it. It was fun on the weekends. But I picked the wrong beach. I should have picked Manhattan Beach, and Hermosa Beach would have been a lot better choice than where I'd picked. But anyways, but my point is, you want to work. You got the energy while you're young, and you got the time, and your time is really not worth anything when you're young, because you don't really have any talent yet. And that's what you need to do now. My boys, it was just first day of school. I just sent them off to school, and I told them, like I tell them almost every morning, I say, man, go get some skills, work hard, get some skills. So right now, if you ain't got the money right now, you need to get some skills, right? And that's what I'm hoping to give you by osmosis, or however I can mentor you to give you what I got. And that is, I can just share with you in the most simplistic terms the way I've made my fortune, okay? And and I still do it. And if my boys weren't so young, I probably would, I don't even know for sure, but I might go retire on a beach somewhere. But when I say retire on a beach, it just means I'll be flipping beach properties and living on the beach. But I don't ever expect I'll retire from investing. That is, like I say, I want you guys to get where I'm at. There's nothing better than doing what you love to do and making money at it. You know what I mean? I mean, if you were an actor or a play, a pianist or whatever, you might love music, you might love to act. And a lot of them do. A lot of them don't make money, and they love to do that. And but man, how great is it to actually love what you do and get paid really, really well, and that's what my life has been since I've really I've been blessed since 19 as far as I'm concerned. But certainly when I sold my company at 28 and could retire anywhere, that's probably I say it's the ultimate whatever. It's just great to be in that position, have choices, and that's what you want. You just want to be able to have the choice to work or not, and that's what really feels great. Have the choice to work or not. You can help people you want to help. I've got some family members right now I'm helping financially, and it's just a blessing that I can do it. And but number one, make that list and stay on point. Don't buy stuff that doesn't bring a return. Buy stuff you can flip. I showed this last video I made. I showed just that little oak desk I bought and sold, made $600. And that's a very tiny deal for me, of course, but it's relative. It's relative. $600 for half hour's time. I could do that every day. That's $18,000 a month, right? That's great. $18,000 a month. If could just find a deal like that every day. So it's not bad. It's not bad. So anyways, I'm gonna cut it here, but I hope you guys stay on it, and finally wrapping up the studio, so we'll be doing some studio stuff here pretty soon. Summer's ending, kids are going back to school. I won't be taking off as much time, and so I plan on hustling and trying to make a lot of money in these coming months. And so let's just see where it goes for both of us, right? So please share, subscribe, and got some neat stuff. Learned about some cool application stuff that's going to help you guys make money. Going to help me make money too. So I'm looking forward to sharing that stuff too. Hey Maurice, thanks for watching. And anyways, anybody got anything to share or want to talk about, man, you put it up there. Let's talk about it. Wednesdays, I'll try to be more consistent, try to get something out on Wednesdays. That's becoming not such a good night for me anymore. So I've been thinking maybe going later times. Seems like 9 o'clock is sometimes good for you guys, whether it's 9 or 10 East Coast, or maybe it ends up being 8 West Coast. But anyways, yep, just let's just keep flipping things, right? Let's make some money, and man, nothing make me happier than see you guys make some money, and like I say, you can you hit a few things and just get that ball rolling. And I mean, you make hundreds of thousands of dollars in a year or two. You really can, and maybe even millions for some of you. You can. I know you can. And you're making hundreds of thousands a year, and then you can be more selective and hold out for those big deals. I mean, that's one of the things I'm doing. I'm investing in some things. I'm trying to hit I want to hit a mega $1 million deal. And I'm talking about investments in different things, but that's the option I have, because I'm playing with money that if I lose it, it doesn't matter. And that's power. That's power. So anyways, I'll call it quits right now. So Monday morning, man, hope everybody has a good day. And like I say, really make your list. It keeps you focused on what's important, and that's what you want to do, is focus on what's important. Now, making money is kind of vague, but I mean, there's things like, like me, I got things like get house textured this week, get it power washed and painted this week, and I'm talking about multiple properties I got to do stuff with, but I'm knocking these things out in an order that gets them more quickly rented. I actually have a couple vacancies. I had one company downsized, I got another company struggling, two companies struggling. So, I'm working with them, but who knows? Maybe they're not going to make it. I don't know. But so I got to start thinking about how am I going to fill those slots and those rentals if those people do fold up. So, anyways, that's it. Flip Anything USA. Please share, subscribe, and we'll talk some more later. Thanks.